We're going to clean up this advanced mechanism here. Get some oil and grease on it. I'm going to use a Harley-Davidson high temperature grease. Seems to be one of the better ones to use. Okay, first thing I do is get these springs off of here. So you just kind of push them out with your finger. They come out kind of hard at times. You want to try not to break it, bend it. Gotta kind of force it around with your finger here. There it goes. So, where's the damn thing at? So you kind of pop it up like that. Once it comes out, good. Try to sneak it up over there. Once you get to come off with the lip there, you're good. So they come off. Supposed to come off. A little bit of a burr on it. Quite a bit of a burr on it. Alright. See what kind of grease there was on it. Pretty much non-existent. So I have to put a little bit some fresh stuff on there. So clean off the old junk. Okay. What I do is I take the file after I drop it 5 times. And where that spring was here hitting, I file it to get a little more clearance. So see, I got some clearance in there now. That should allow us to put springs on there easier. So here's got the burr on it. It helps slightly. So you can see where the file mark is right there, and that allows the spring to pop up easier, come off easier. So next time you got to take it apart to lube it, you'll be able to get to it. Okay, we just take a little bit of our lube. Even though this grease is probably made in the 80s, Harley still sells it today. They probably made a bunch of it. Yeah, find where the camera's at. Nice good layer on there. Put a little bit up here where the lobe goes. I take the mechanism, stick it on there. Make sure it's got a good grease on it. Now if you notice there's a pin right there, let me flip the light on, might help. There's a roll pin right here which keeps this from going on in the wrong spot. See, it only goes down until we get it flat. So make sure your roll pin is in there, it's in the right spot. Right there's the right spot. Okay. Alright, so after you do that, you go ahead and put the weights up on back on it. Make sure it works freely. go ahead and flip the spring back up on there. Just put the one edge in there and just pop the spring over. That one didn't want to go, figures. I do make these springs in different tensions for different RPMs where they come out at. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that the weight returns all the way back with some tension on it. You can hear it against the stop. This one's a little bit lighter, you can hear it. If it doesn't go all the way back, you need to put some new springs on them or bend them to fit. There we go. Now see if you're not in the right spot. The lobe is way above the top of the shaft. So you turn 180 degrees, it pops around. Now your shaft's above the lobe. So when you put your bolt in there, right here, it'll work. Now, some of these aftermarket kits, they'll give you a star washer to put on these things. Do not use a star washer, it locks up the cam lobe. And your advanced mechanism doesn't fit, or doesn't work. Very important. You gotta make sure this stuff's all working freely. If it's not working freely, you gotta fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here into our cam. So there's a roll pin right here, right down inside there, and that goes on the end of the cam. So you have to rotate it in there until it pops in. So you know, right here you move it out, and it goes in and pops in. While it's held in, you put the screw in there. Do not put Loctite on that screw, because if it breaks off, you will have a pain in the ass to get it out. So you can just take it and tighten it up. Remember, it's only a number 10 screw, so don't get too carried away. One of the books says 125 foot-pounds. Don't go that much. That should have been 12.5 inch-pounds. A little misprint. Alright, once that's in there, let me make sure it all works free. Spin it around, make sure it's not wobbling. Spin it true. That means it's flat against the end of the cam lobe. And you go ahead and put your plate up in here. Get your tower screws here. Just stick them in there to hold it for now. We'll have to time this later. Now this is a single fire ignition style plate. It's got dual pickups. So you have to adjust these independently of each other, assuming the flywheels are marked, which they probably are not. They might be. Alright, I get that out of the way for now. I'm going to go in here and look to see if it's got markings on it. Okay, there's your front, top dead center. Actually has front timing mark, because you can see where it's at. The rod's way back in the hole here. So the rear one, if it has a mark, would be way over here. And there's the rear timing mark right there. So we do have timing marks for our rear hole. And you know it's timing because it's way in the back of the hole again. TDC would be way up here. So if you want to see if there's a TD mark, no. There's a front cylinder timing mark. But that's not your TD mark for the rear. It's close, but it's not the same. TD for the front. There's your top front right there. It says TF. So that would be your front. You know, it's the rod's in the center of the hole. So we do have timing marks, but not TDC marks. So we're all right. All right, so that's how you go ahead and time. Or not time it, that's how you install the advanced mechanism and get it squared away. And we'll time it when we get the thing in the bike.